Hi, Scott Orlam of Cinema Magazine. There is a fun new film coming your way called Heart of Stone, and I'm here with one of the stars, Jamie Dornan. Jamie, in the pantheon of cool jobs actors get to do in films, where does Secret Agent rank?
It is on that list, isn't it? It's on like one of those go-to like must to try lists. It's fun, it hadn't quite crossed my path before, really. Like I've done a bit like Edgar and Barb and Star is a secret agent, of course, but like it's in as you know, like a slightly ridiculous way because of the nature of that film. So yeah, it was something that was really appealing to me, especially to do it alongside the likes of Gal, who really is the forefront of this movie, just kicking ass. So it was a cool thing.
It's fascinating because we look at a movie, and in a way, there's kind of we might perceive as science fiction in this movie that there's concept of this technological brain that controls everything in the world, kind of like Siri on steroids in a sense. But as we know, science fiction becomes science fact. How worried are you that this could be our future?
Yeah, it's funny you ask, Scott, because like when we shot the film a year and a half ago, started shooting a year and a half ago, that wasn't in the public consciousness. Like, well, if it was low down the list, and it was very, it wasn't like everyone was talking about it. Cut to a year and a half later, it's very frontal in all of our consciousness, and it's big global news, and we're all a little bit scared of it, and it's a sort of unintentional life imitating art situation that we've had with the timing of this film. And yeah, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit frightened of the power of that, and how hard that will be to control.
You mentioned your co-star Gal, and I'm going to talk about a subject which I know is near and dear to your heart, and that's choreography. And on the spectrum of this movie, you have this sweet little intimate dance with her, to, without giving anything away, a few more aggressive moves. How was that synergy with Gal creating all of that?
Yeah, I mean, she's great. She's just so easy to work with and such a pro with all of it. As you probably know, like dancing isn't my natural happy place, and it has to be sort of really yanked out of me. And luckily, it's not a particularly long moment, and we get interrupted pretty quick with something fairly sort of sinister. So, but you've got to feel comfortable in those situations. With your dance partner, literally, figuratively, and Gal was just the easiest to do all that stuff with.
But the other extreme is the fight sequences. Is that something you feel really adept at? I mean, is it easy to kind of learn all those moves?
I feel relatively adept at it. Yeah, it's not like I've done none of it. I've done a bit of it here and there over things over the years, but never to this scale. Never this amount of fighting. I loved it. I love it. While I still feel relatively young and able, I want to test myself like that. I want to push myself like that. I want to keep proving to myself that I can do stuff like that. So yeah, I had a great time doing all that, and I loved the training, and always felt very safe in the hands of the stunt team and my co-stars. So yeah, I had a great time doing that.
What is your own relationship to retribution? Are you a kind of a forgive and forget kind of guy, or does something seethe inside of you for a while?
I don't have a lot of grudges with people. Life's too short. I couldn't be bothered. I don't think I've ever fallen out with anyone in my life. Like genuinely, I just couldn't. I hate arguing, especially with people you love. I find it so stupid. Like, we love each other. What's the point in fighting over this nonsense? So I'm not a big fighter, really. So I never really have anything to have retribution over, really, because I never let it get to that point. Yeah, I'd be like, I think if I was in that situation, I'd be like, let's go and have a drink and talk about it, and all will be fine.
And my last question for you, I had the pleasure last year of going to Lisbon for the first time. So I loved this, getting some glimpses of the places I've been to before, but I did not take a van ride through the streets of Lisbon as you did. And I could only presume they didn't actually film in the van doing that. But how volatile does it get even on a controlled set? Because you guys were slammed all around.
That was crazy, and thank God, Scott, you didn't take a van ride like that in Lisbon. That we were in that van for a long time. We did a lot of stuff in that van. Our stunt team did a lot of stuff in that van. We were in a real van for a fair bit of it, and we were driving through the actual streets of Lisbon at night during a night shoot. But also we did a load of stuff on a rig, and it was always like, we'll do a tester and it's going to be like that. But then something happens, I think, when they hear action and they just ramp it up a wee bit, and suddenly that jolt is like massive. And yeah, we're on harnesses and stuff, but you're still getting knocked about and getting bruised and stuff. And yeah, a lot of time spent in that van, but it was good fun. I love that sequence. I think it looks great.
Well, I'm sure you're, and first of all, happy Father's Day. And it must have been a real cool treat for your kids to see dad as an action star. So thank you so much, Jamie, the film Heart of Stone. And this is Scott. Till next time.
Cheers, Scott. Good to see you.